everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here and welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. The sun is shining today. It's a beautiful day. I hope it's the same wherever you are. I know there have been some storms across the US and there always seems to be something going on somewhere in the world, but I just hope that you're having a great morning and that you're, approaching the day with a positive attitude. And I've got my cup of tea this morning. I've got my Earl Grey. I decided to go back to some classic teas this week and it's been really fun. So I've got my cup of Earl Grey and it's a nice strong dark tea, and I hope you got a cup of coffee or a tea. Maybe you've got a green smoothie or a turmeric drink. It always amazes me when I ask the variety of food and drinks that the women in our community enjoy. There's just a lot of experimentation going on and healthy aging, which is really one of the key principles of 60 and Me. So stay healthy and well and get out there, exercise, and just take care of yourselves. That's the way to show the world that we are vibrant and dynamic in our 60s. If they see that, they're going to be aware of the fact that it's different now. A different woman in her 60s these days. So anyway, I was going to say to you that one thing I've been thinking about, recently as I'm cleaning up my closet and doing a bit of downsizing and trying to, find the clothes that I really love, colors and textures that are just me. And I remembered an interview that I did with Lynn Slater. Sorry, it was Lynn Slater. She's a really amazing blogger. She lives in New York City. And I interviewed her about a year ago, and we talked a lot about the way that clothing sort of shapes your personality and how you can communicate who you are and what you feel about the world. It's like your voice. And she wore black and white. She wore dark sunglasses the whole time that we talked. And some people commented on this. It was a little bit strange. This is her style. This is how she feels comfortable. So we talked for quite a while about the different things that you have to develop in order to, define and establish your personal style. So she said there's four different things, four kind of traits, personality traits that help you to define what your style is. We've done a couple of exercises on this and asked you, what are the three words that describe you? Or maybe describe your style. And I've pretty much consistently come up with a classic bohemian. That's been my kind of definition of me for a long time. I love the pearls, I love the classic styles, but I also love the little quirky accessories and jewelry and textures of fabric. I mix things up and I really like that bohemian feeling as well as look. So that's kind of my style. But when we've asked people, what their two or three words are to describe them, sometimes they go, I really don't know. I've never really thought about it. So Lynn and I chatted about some of the ways that you can come up with, defining those words. And then once you do that, then it opens up a whole new world to choosing your fashion. And also to really defining your surroundings and your home decor in general. Because if that's your style, in my opinion, everything that surrounding you should reflect those two words or that sense of style. So these are the four character traits that every woman should develop in order to assess your personal style. So the first one is cultivate confidence. Now, by the time we're 60, we've kind of been around a little bit, and I think we've made enough mistakes that we know what is right for us. But we sometimes lack the confidence to just go for it. And we still, even in our 60s, think that we need to follow rules and please people. And I think this is one of the points that she mentioned, at the very beginning, was stop worrying about what other people think. I mean, we know this, but define what that inner compass is that really allows you to choose things that you feel confident and comfortable in. Both go together. If you're comfortable, you'll be confident, and vice versa. We know ourselves. We know that confidence is what helps us to make good fashion choices and to do it with that statement. It's okay. If you don't like it, that's totally fine, but it's me. So that's the first thing, is cultivate confidence. And one exercise that she gives, which is kind of a cool one, is to write down on a list, on a sheet of paper, a list of ways that you would describe yourself. Is it creative, romantic, idealistic, fun-loving, sporty? What are those words that describe you? Just write them down and then ask a friend to describe you. Just email someone or on Facebook and just say, hey, what are 5 or 6 words that you would use to describe me? And see whether they match. It's a really interesting exercise, because if they say sporty and you say that you're, romantic, it's like, maybe I'm dressing in a way that is projecting a more sporty person, and that kind of really isn't me. I'm doing it maybe for other reasons. So anyway, that's one exercise that you can do to try to just define how you're projecting yourself to the world and if it aligns with your true character. So that's advice from Lynn on how to get confidence about your style. Another thing she says is to embrace your self-awareness. This kind of goes back to the point of having confidence, because it's like knowing yourself really, really well. And one exercise that we talked about was going back to your childhood and thinking, or even to your teenage years and adolescence, and think about the clothes that you wore then that made you feel super comfortable. And then as you went into the workplace and you started maybe dressing for your different roles, remember the power outfits, the things that you always reached for. It's funny, whenever I had a job interview at Microsoft, I always remember I had this gray dress that I would always wear, and then I would accent it with some crazy scarf or some interesting piece of jewelry. But this dress was just a perfect fit, and it was gray. I don't know why I didn't choose black, because I wear a lot of black, but it was a gray dress, and I wore it pretty much every interview. And I didn't get all the jobs I applied for, but I felt good in that dress. So do you have a memory of the kind of clothes that you wore? And maybe there was a special context, around wearing that outfit that really made you feel confident. And then you just like it, you reach for it. It's you're self-aware that it's your dress, it's your outfit or pants or jeans. Another thing is to adopt open-mindedness. Now, this is particularly interesting as we get older, because what we tend to do, or at least I tend to do, is go and reach for the same things every time. I have a pair of, a certain pair of pants that I like, black, this certain length, this certain width, and I just go for those. And then even though styles keep evolving, I do tend sometimes to go for the thing that I'm familiar with. So this is another thing that that Lynn suggests, is to accept an open-mindedness about clothes and try new things. Maybe you can just try them on and just see how you feel in them, whether they line up, with those words that you've defined. And how would you describe these clothes? If you were describing, I just bought or I just tried on a new outfit and it was this, and this. And then listen to those words, listen to how you've described the voice that those outfits are going to have. I think it's really, really interesting. And as she says, clothes amplify your personality. And in fact, our conversation was a lot about how the social impact of clothing, how when we go into the world wearing certain kinds of clothes, we communicate our values and also our belief systems. They're very powerful. And Lynn takes this quite seriously, so I invite you to take a look at her videos too. They're very interesting. So that's it. Don't be afraid to break old patterns, but know who you are in breaking those patterns and know they're going to work for you. Finally, the last one that we talked about was find fearlessness. Now, if you look at Lynn's clothing, you'll go, oh my gosh, she's very dramatic in her clothes. And she's dramatic in her personality. That's, I think, was in fact one of her words that she used to describe herself. And she wears very flamboyant white shirts with tight leggings, and her hair is done in a very angular shape. So she's really defined this style that demonstrates fearlessness. Because when you go out into the world looking like that, and it's not over clownish or anything, it's just interesting. You actually have to kind of have a tough skin, because you can't be swayed by a certain look or a certain comment. It has to be from a ground of fearless. So I guess that's the thing is, and a question that she asked me was, do people like to have their pictures taken? Because I think if you don't like your picture taken, it's maybe an indication that that you're a little unconsciously not comfortable with the way you look. So it takes that little bit of fearlessness to stand and pose and smile into the camera, knowing that you are in your skin, who you are, comfortable. Very interesting. And I think there's, some exercises that you can go through just in your mind. By the way, Lynn is a sociology teacher or a psychology teacher, but she's very cerebral about her thinking about clothes. So she's very much of the belief that clothing really affects your psychological state of mind. And so she said, for example, choose an item of clothes that you've always wanted to have, but for some reason or another, you've never been able to put it on your body. For example, I'll give you an example. I bought something the other day, which I've never bought before, and it ticked all the boxes for me. It's a bright orange color. I've never bought anything bright orange in my life. And it's actually asymmetrical. It's just a little top. It was just like a throw-on top. But it's angular, asymmetrical, and it's orange. But it was a classic line, and it was just kooky. I just thought accenting it with scarves is going to be fun. Just taking it out there and wearing it is going to be interesting. And so that was, something that I thought, well, I've always wanted something, a bright, bright color. Of course, today I'm wearing purple, which is a little bright, but this is a very vivid orange. I should actually put it on for another video so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's just one of those things that you have to just go for it. Try something that lines up with those descriptive words, but it's just something you've always wanted to do and been afraid. So fearlessness is another thing. So I think the secret here is to say to yourself, you're an amazing woman. You are a product of 6 decades of learning and wisdom and, experimenting with style, experimenting with yourself. And there's no reason on earth you shouldn't be out there, just relaxing and having fun with fashion. I look at it that way. So confidence, self-awareness, open-mindedness, and fear. Those are the 4 tips that Lynn has for defining your personal style. Hope you found that useful. A bit of a long talk about fashion. I know a lot of women don't really bother too much, and that's fine too, because you obviously found your groove, and that's what's important. But for those of you who did, I hope that was who do like fashion. Hope that was useful. And I'd like to, just go through and ask you a question, just so we can get a conversation going. And that is really simply, what of the personality traits mentioned in this article do you really feel you need to work on? Confidence, self-awareness, open-mindedness, or fearlessness? Which personality trait do you think you need to work on? I'd love to have a conversation on this. Just leave your thoughts and feedback in the section below. We'll have a chat. I'll join in the conversation too. And I hope that you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, or whatever you're wearing. Just enjoy it and smile. That always adds lots of beauty to your look. And just have a fantastic day. And I'll see you all back here again very soon. Take good care. Bye-bye for now.